Hi, I'm Emily Hammond, and I'm about to tell you about my senior project, what I did for that. But before I get into that, I just want to kind of give you a little introduction about myself. My full name is Emily Rose Hammond. My middle name comes from my grandma Rose. She was my great grandma and my mom's grandma, and she had a great influence on my life and her life as well. Um, I love sports. I love getting involved. I love the team unity of everything. And my favorite sport is basketball. I just love the competition and all that. I went to Bear Lake High School for 3.5 years of my high school career. And then I moved out to Kansas in the middle of my senior year and started online school. And so I got involved a lot while I was at Bear Lake High School. I got involved in cross country and track and basketball and the play and like the sixth man. I went to every game. So I love being involved in things like that. My favorite subject in school is probably government or strength. Government, it's kind of self-explanatory. Strength and conditioning is just like you lift weights and stuff like that. You can run, and I just love staying in shape. So that was definitely one of my favorite classes. A few people who had a great impact on my life in high school was my counselor, Cameron Crane. He helped me with a lot of stuff that was going on during my senior year, well, during my 3.5 years of high school, and so he was great. Why I chose to job shadow a dental hygienist was because my dad is a dentist, and I would always go in his office and just watch everybody, and I just thought it'd be super cool to be one of those people. Not to be a dentist exactly, but like a dental hygienist or a dental assistant, but I chose a dental hygienist. So to get into my job description of a dental hygienist, when I would think of a dental hygienist, I would think of like, oh, they just clean teeth, like that's really all they do. But they do a lot more than that. They clean teeth, they check for diseases in the mouth, they check the patient's history, like health history, and they do a lot. And I was really impressed when I went and job shadowed Kimberly because it was amazing. She told me, so a dental hygienist, it's like that job is really hard on your body. That is because you sit there for hours, you clean teeth, your hands are moving very little, you're hunched over, so it's hard on your back, it's hard on like your hands and stuff. And so it's really hard on your body if you don't like stay active. They're also responsible for the health of their patients and also other safeties inside the office as well. They also educate their patients as well. When I was there, she would explain how to floss or how to brush their teeth or stuff like that. But just to educate them to have a healthier mouth or to have healthier teeth. And so I thought that was really cool. So when they clean their teeth, they have to wear safety glasses. The one she wore, she had glasses on, and then they had little like magnifying glasses on and a light. That's just to protect and also to see inside the mouth. They also wear gloves because, I mean, who would want your hands in somebody else's mouth without gloves? So they wear gloves. But one thing that I thought was really cool was after every single patient, like you had to wipe down everything in the room. Like it wasn't just the tools. You had to wipe down the chair, you had to wipe down the keyboard you put on like by the computer. You had to wipe down everything because there's spit like going everywhere while you're cleaning teeth, and so you don't want that on other people's stuff, and they don't, so that's why you clean all of that. They're also exposed to radiation when they're doing x-rays. Usually they just walk out of the room when they do the x-rays because, I mean, even though there's little radiation coming off those x-rays, but if you stay in there all day, then you will get radiation poisoning. They might get sick, so, I mean, it's not like 100% that they're not going to get sick because they wear masks or gloves. Like, they're going to get sick because they're working in people's mouths, but that's just one thing that is just part of the job. On to the education of a dental hygienist and the skills you need to become a dental hygienist. So to become a dental hygienist, you need an associate's degree. You can get a master's degree in it as well, but the lowest is an associate's degree. So you have to also have a license to be a dental hygienist, and you get that from the school where you go to. One of the skills they need to be a dental hygienist is to be able to talk to people, because they need to talk to them about their health, they need to talk to them about how they're doing on their mouth, and all that stuff. One thing that I very much have skills in is talking to people. During the summer, I worked up at Minnetonka Cave. That is just a cave up here by where I live, and I took millions of people through the cave. I'm working here this summer. I take about 3 tours a day all summer long for 3 months, and so I've taken millions of people through that cave, and I've talked to strangers, I've talked to family, friends, I've talked to everybody, and it's just super fun. I love talking to people. Before I started that job, I definitely wasn't a people person. I was just like, there's a person, I don't want to talk to them. But so that's one thing. Another skill they need is they need to be able to take plaque off calculus off of people's teeth, and just be able to actually work in the mouth and not be disgusted by it. That's definitely a skill that people need to become a dental hygienist. Women are more likely to become a dental hygienist than men. It's just more likely for that because hygienists, most of them work part-time. There's very few that work full-time, and so for women, that's super nice if they have kids at home. They can only work 1 or 2 days a week, and then the rest are with their kids, and so that's just super nice. So that's usually why women are like that. So when you hire a dental hygienist, let me start over. So the hiring process of a dental hygienist, it's kind of different for everyone. There's not really a set thing. You go through application, you read what they where they have it, if they have a dental hygienist license, and then they get that. Hygienists get paid on average about $30 an hour. It just depends on where you live. Because in New York, you get paid $38 an hour. But if you live in North Carolina, I saw, then you only get paid $28 an hour. But the average is about $30 an hour. So for some benefits of a dental hygienist is they get vacation. Some get vacation time. If they are full time, then they'll get vacation time. But if they're half time, then they won't, because they're not there long enough to they're not there long enough to have a vacation time. Also, some offices have a retirement plan, but again, that's mostly just for full-time dental hygienists and not half-time, because of, again, they're not there long enough. They get about $73,000 a year for a dental hygienist. That just depends on full-time, half-time, part-time, just, all that. With a dental hygienist, you need a 3-year associate's degree, like I said earlier. But with that, you can further your education to get a master's degree. And with a master's degree or a bachelor's degree, you can start going into a health specialist or a health manager. And so that's just some things that you can employment more for that. So okay, so now on to my job shadowing. That was really fun. Honestly, my expectations for this job shadowing were kind of low. I was just gonna just sit there and just watch someone clean teeth all day, for 8 hours, and but it was super fun. I job shadowed a hygienist named Kimberly Wilding. She was amazing. She was super nice. She would talk to me. She would tell me tips and all that stuff. This took place in Montpelier, Idaho. That's where I live, in a dental office, my dad's office. Um, so, so like I said, my expectations were really low for this like job shadowing. But I watched her for 8 hours. The first patient, when I first started the job, I just watched her, and then the second one, she let me like suction off like out of the spit out of the mouth, and so that was really fun. And then I wrote down measurements for the mouth. I cleaned all the rooms. I cleaned the tools, and so it wasn't just like I sat there and did nothing all day. It was just really fun. So she told me the process of how she handles patients. So she starts off by checking the health history, like if they have any surgeries or anything from last time they came. And then they do x-rays if they need them. Usually, like sometimes people come in 3 months. It depends on how bad their mouth is. If they have like a disease or something, they'll come in every 3 months. If they don't, they'll come in every 6 months. And so, and then x-rays are every year. So it just depends. And then they look through the radiograph, and then they look at the bone health, and then they start checking for diseases in the mouth, and then they start to scale off calculus. Calculus is way different than plaque. Plaque is just something you can get off with your toothbrush, and then calculus is something that builds up on your teeth. I thought that was really cool for me to learn because I thought it was just plaque that they scraped off, but it was actually calculus. So, and then they polish their teeth to remove any stains, and then they floss, and then sometimes they put fluoride on. It was super cool to watch that for 15 hours, well, 16 hours actually, because, yeah, it was just super cool. Honestly, I don't think I will become a dental hygienist because I don't like just sitting in one place for hours. And with a dental hygienist, then she has to sit there all day long, like 2 days a week. And so I just want something where I can be active, I can help people, and so I was more thinking of physical therapy because then I can like do exercises with my patients and I can just be with that. So from this job, I learned so much. I learned how to be a good hard worker. I learned like calculus isn't plaque. I learned so many things from this job. And so it was just a really fun. I'm so ready to graduate. I'm so ready to graduate. I have accomplished so much in these last 13 years of high school, and I just feel like I'm ready to take on the world. And so I'm starting, and so to move on to my career, for a physical therapist, I'm going to be getting a bachelor's in physical therapist assistant, and then I'll continue to get a master's in physical therapy. So that will be 4 years of school for bachelor's and then 2 more years to get a master's. After graduation, I will be working up in Minnetonka Cave again as a tour guide, and then I'm also going to be a dental assistant to my dad as a dentist. After the summer, I'll be attending Brigham Young University, Idaho in Rexburg, which I would be getting my degrees there. I'll be rooming with my sister. She's on a mission right now in California, but she will be coming home in June. So I'll room up with her in September, and then once she gets her associate's degree, we'll transfer over to Utah State together, where I'll continue my education there. So the most difficult part for this whole thing was just like knowing what I wanted to do, like to job shadow and stuff like that. So for advice for future seniors, just live your life. There's sometimes in high school when gets really hard and you just are like, I'm so done with school, but like I promise, like high school is 4 years of your life and you still have like 100 more. So also another thing for seniors is don't procrastinate. Don't get senioritis super bad and get, yeah, so just don't. But so that was my senior project. If you have any questions, you can ask me. So thanks.